Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and once again it is Sunday, and that means it's time for the Texas Gun Vault Poll Question of the Week. This is a weekly vlog that I put out where I ask you guys, as my viewers and subscribers, about something that deals with firearms and firearms culture that I want your thoughts and opinions on. This week's question deals with how much firearms content do you guys consume on YouTube. I know that as a YouTube content creator, I get asked all the time questions like, are you subscribed to this channel? Did you see this channel's review on this gun? What do you think of this person? And so forth. And to be honest with you, sometimes I realize I don't watch very much firearms content. But I'll talk about that in a moment. So right now, let's dive right in to the Texas Gun Vault Poll Question of the Week. For this week's question, I wanted to ask more of a YouTube analytics question regarding the amount of firearms content you watch on the platform. I feel there might be a lot of correlations to the volume of content people consume and viewers' thoughts on firearms and the Second Amendment. I'm also wondering if there's a relationship between the amount and how cohesive our community is. So for this week's question, what percentage of your YouTube viewing time is spent on guns and gun-related channels? Essentially, how much time do you devote to the Second Amendment and related media? So as you can see there, I'm asking how much time do you guys spend on YouTube watching firearms related content? Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be shooting videos. It could be anything from hunting or mechanical things about how do suppressors work, or just the latest stuff that's coming out regarding news or firearms. I know that I've personally gone through phases as I've developed as a firearms enthusiast, and I kind of find that the people that are into firearms when they're younger or just getting into it can overindulge. I know I did for a long time. I used to be subscribed to hundreds of gun channels. And over time, many of those channels have either gone away or been replaced with other types of channels that deal with different types of content. It doesn't mean that my personal passion for firearms has diminished any. As you guys know, I'm a firearms YouTube creator myself, and I love firearms. I love talking about firearms and creating firearms content. But I find that as a content creator, sometimes I need a break from guns. I don't really want to talk about it all the time when I'm away from filming for the channel. And sometimes I find that what other channels are putting out is information that I either already know or I'm not interested in. It doesn't mean that the content that they're making is irrelevant or not good. As I always say, there are many content creators out there that I don't care for, but I still support them because I feel that they are reaching a portion of the Second Amendment community that a channel like mine is not. Many of these channels are bigger, some of them are smaller, but we're all doing our part to create a wide variety of content that appeals to the broadest audience. We're all in this together. You don't have to be a fan of me. You don't have to like me, and you don't have to like my channel. But hopefully you agree that we're all part of the Second Amendment community and we're all fighting for the same thing. So with that said, let's dive right in and see the results of this week's poll. So with over 1,000 votes as of me filming this video, we have 80 to 100%. All day, every day, firearms are my life, 12%. 60 to 80%. It's the predominant thing I watch on YouTube, 36%. 40% to 60%. It is around half of everything I watch, 26%. 20% to 40%. Firearms content is just one of many topics I watch, 21%. And finally, 1% to 20%. I only watch a few select channels, 4%. So it looks like a majority of you guys watch a lot of firearms content. I know that when we are in the battle for the Second Amendment and we love our hobby, this is the place, and YouTube has brought so many people together, but this is the place that we can go and find like-minded people. Even when we go down to our local gun shops, we're not going to find the same level of enthusiasm maybe with the salesman. We're not going to find that same level of enthusiasm with somebody that's just shopping. Pretty much if you're on YouTube watching firearms content, you love firearms and you like everything about firearms and the culture surrounding firearms. Some people are just firearms adjacent, but here you're a true enthusiast, and the results of this poll definitely reflect that. So let's break each one of these down. We have 80 to 100% all day, everyday firearms are my life. It got 12%, which actually was more than I thought it was going to get. Now, I find that the people that are watching this much firearms content often are new gun owners or people that are younger. I was the same way. I went through this phase when I first got into guns probably about 12 years ago or so. This was me. I was subscribed to hundreds of gun channels, small and large. I wanted to know and learn everything I could about guns. And as time went on, it just wasn't a general survey of guns that I wanted to know. I wanted to know more about specific types of guns. So those content creators that just were out there blowing stuff up like pumpkins and tannerite, I kind of let go by the wayside. That really wasn't what I was interested in. Sure, an explosion is nice from time to time, but I want to know more about the mechanics of guns. And then I wanted to know more about specific types of guns, and then the histories of guns. And so by that time, I let some channels go, and I would add some channels to my watch list. And over time, it's really diminished down to just a few channels, a very few select channels. But this was me when I first started. Then we have 60 to 80%. That's the predominant thing I watch on YouTube. I know that when it comes to YouTube, they're always trying to push down gun channels in the algorithm. Trust me, as a content creator, I see it all the time. I get flagged all the time for restricted content, meaning that my content is not suitable for most advertisers. And then I have to go through a review process. You guys know I try to make G-rated content. I don't curse on this channel. I don't say anything vulgar. I handle firearms in a safe way, and I try to be a positive influence in the Second Amendment community. But apparently, that's not good enough. I am often restricted. Now, I get a lot of my videos monetized on appeal, but the algorithm just doesn't like us. But I know that here on YouTube, people are coming to, unfortunately, there's not another platform, but they come here because this is where they get a majority of their firearms content. Maybe they're getting their entertainment and politics from another source, which I used to. I used to get a lot of my political information from talk radio. As I mentioned before, I'm a listener. I like to listen. But now I get a lot of that political information from YouTube as well. So that's why my watching habits on YouTube have become more diversified. Then we have 40 to 60%. It's around half of everything I watch. To be honest with you, I thought this was kind of going to be the majority answer, and it wasn't. I know that people that watch my content, my geeky content, to come here and watch me almost every day put out a video, you gotta really love firearms because I'm a geek, I'm a nerd. I like to show guns, I like to talk about guns. And so if you're watching this channel, you like guns too, and you like to talk about them all the time. But maybe it's not your complete life. And I kind of thought 50% is about a healthy watching average here on YouTube. I definitely don't like it when people watch only one type of content. I think it's really important to be a diversified watcher. Now, if you watch way more content, you're watching 100% firearms content on YouTube, I think more power to you. It's just that as I've gotten older, I have an eclectic mix of interests, and so I'll go watch those channels as well. Sometimes, as I said, I just need a break from firearms, and I need a break from what I do for a living, which is music. And then we have 20 to 40% firearms content is just one of many topics I watch. I kind of thought this one was going to be the one that I would choose. And then I actually went through my YouTube feed and I realized I'm probably going to be in the next category, 1 to 20%. Most of the content that I watch on YouTube is either political, and it's really even diminished on the political side as well since the election of 2020. Most of the content that I watch will be stuff from like the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, Andrew Klavan, Michael Knowles, and so forth. And then I also watch Tim Pool. He's more of a centrist, and the Fort Worth Glock guy was a person that turned me on to him. So I listen to a lot of this political analyzation throughout the day. I don't think it's really necessarily far to the right. Sometimes it's a little bit more centrist. And that's what I listen to. And I also find myself watching a lot of science channels. I have a lot of channels that I watch that are space related. I have everything from futurist Isaac Arthur to a guy by the name of John Michael Godier, who's an author and a science fiction fan, and his podcast Event Horizon. I always enjoy listening to those at night, and some of those can go for a couple of hours. I love learning about space and science and astronomy and physics. Yeah, I told you guys, I'm a complete nerd. And then finally we have 1% to 20%. I only watch a few select channels, and this is honestly the one that I would watch. People ask me all the time, are you subscribed to this channel or not? And I normally don't talk about other YouTube channels on this channel, whether that be positive or negative. And here is why. If I say something positive about another YouTube channel, there's always going to be somebody that doesn't like that channel, and then all of a sudden hates me because I like that channel. Even the ones that have overwhelming popularity, like let's say a Paul Harrell. I'll say I like Paul Harrell, or I'm subscribed to Paul Harrell, and someone say, oh, he's an idiot, I can't believe he said this, I don't like his sense of humor, I'm unsubscribing you. Okay, well, then I'll say I subscribe to another person who might be controversial, and I'll say I'm not subscribed to them because I think they make great content or that I agree with them. It's just I like to hear all sides of the argument. And people will say, I can't believe you support them, I'm unsubscribing. So if I give support to a channel, they hate me. If I don't give support to a channel, they hate me. So I found the best policy is just to say, you guys need to watch the content that interests you the most. I will not talk negatively or positively about any other channel. Now, once in a while when they're in the news, I'll say I support them. And most of the time I support channels, even the ones I don't watch or don't like, because as I said, we're all in this together. And apparently if they are a huge channel, and even if I completely disagree with them and do not like the content that they make and do not like their personality or their methods, I can still say they're reaching people in the Second Amendment community and bringing them to our side, and I 100% support that. I'm all about freedom of choice. So that's my thoughts on this. Let's break this down and look at the top rated comments of the week and see what you guys have to say. With the top rated comment of the week, we have Jeremiah, who says, I go through phases. And that's pretty much me. As time went on, I went from almost 100% firearms content to 80% to 60 to 40, and now it doesn't really fill my feed up all that much. You know, I was talking about being a musician just a few moments ago. People ask me all the time, isn't it so much fun to go play at all these venues and play for all these parties and play all this music all the time? It's a job. You know, I love music. I love what I do, and I couldn't do anything else. But when I come home, I don't want to talk about music anymore. I don't want to talk about teaching. I want to talk about maybe firearms. But then when I'm done filming for the YouTube channel, I want to talk about something else. I want to do something else. It's just because I try to have balance in my life. Then we have Gort, who says, firearms related content is about 75 to 80% of what I follow. The rest is music, aviation, and outdoor stuff. I find some channels to be a good way to stay current on impending firearm legislation and, unfortunately, ATF overreach. You know, I kind of look at the firearms YouTube channels on YouTube like he does as well. I think I use YouTube and firearms content more for news than I actually do about guns. When it comes to new guns that are on the market, there's a few websites I like to follow, and that's where I get most of the breaking news when it comes to new products that are out there. Then we have Kinez76, who says, I used to watch a ton of firearms related content, maybe 90% of what I watched, but YouTube changed the rules, killed off a lot of the content, and firearms content now is so sporadic I hardly see any of it. Mostly now I consume YouTube friendly brash content like cat videos. Nah, F cat vids. I watch cars and red pill content that is getting the same treatment as gun channels did a few years back. It's almost like YouTube doesn't like free speech or content that promotes free and independent thought. You know, and I agree with this as well. And as I already told you, as a content creator, I see it from the other side. I'm constantly having to battle the YouTube algorithm. And one of the things that I promise you guys, that while my channel currently is monetized, if my channel becomes demonetized, I'm still going to be doing the same thing. I might push my Patreon a little bit more, ask you guys to help me support the channel when it comes to buying ammunition for range reports, as those can get really expensive right now. As you guys know, the cost of ammunition is really up right now in the great ammo shortage of 2021. But as my channel is monetized, I try to use all that money to go right back into the channel and buy ammunition and so forth and gear for making these videos. But even if I get 100% demonetized, I'm still going to be out there because I feel that making this content is more important than anything else. It's supporting the Second Amendment to all people out there that are willing to listen. Then we have Core, who says, "I have no idea what you're talking about, sir. Squirrel tactics. Dale Gribble runs and jumps over the fence all paranoid." I actually got a few comments like this. It says, "Nice try, ATF." Well, I'm not trying to grill you guys. You guys don't actually have to respond and tell me what you watch or how much. You can make another witty comment, but I appreciate that comment because I loved King of the Hill. It was one of the most brilliant cartoons of the last 25 years. And then finally, we have Roman's Generic Gun Channel. 80% at least here for sure. Firearms are life. Haha. Much love and respect. God bless. Well, thank you, Roman, for watching the channel. It means so much, and I'm honored and humbled that I am some of that 80% of firearms content that you watch. So there you go. That is the Texas Gun Vault poll question of the week. Does it surprise you that I don't watch as much gun-related content as a content creator? Or do you understand that maybe sometimes I get a little bit gunned out? And does it surprise you that I don't talk positively or negatively about other YouTube channels? Simply because someone's going to love them, someone's going to hate them, and then they're going to hate me because of it. It's better just to stay out of it and let everyone else do what they're going to do. So there's the question, my thoughts, and your responses for the Texas Gun Vault poll question of the week. If you would like to participate in next week's poll, please go to the community tab on my YouTube channel, and I will post a link in the description below. Go over there, vote, comment, and like other people's comments so we can get the top-rated comments of the week. So let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns in the comments section below, and let's have a great discussion over there. And as always, thanks for watching.